But anyways, we're here in Connecticut. We're flying from Chicago to Connecticut at Mill Pond. And right now we have Andy. Oh yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, boys. I feel like this interview has been a long time coming because when I first met you 6 years ago, you guys were in talks and constructing how I see one of the biggest empires in Connecticut has ever seen. Besides Foxwoods, besides Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, I don't know if we could be classified with them big boys, but in our little world here in the country, yeah, we kind of resurrected that old mill from the early days and created that, what we have today, right? The venue, the wedding hall.
Correct.
And then the continuous of restaurant use all week long.
Correct. So let's rewind a little bit too, because I know your family has a big impact here in the local place right here. The garbage company you guys built, your family built. How was that?
So many years ago, wasn't fancy to be a trash man, right?
Yeah.
I think it was about 10th grade. And our teacher says, on Tuesday we got a giant test. You don't want to make sure you study. You want to do good on this test. You don't want to throw me one of them garbage men. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm out. That was my last day at school in 10th grade. And all I really wanted to do was be the trash guy and help my dad out. But in his world, that was not a cool thing in the day, 1978,
Oh, wow.
So he kind of stepped aside and said, listen, here's your shot at the big time, blah, blah, blah. But the other point was my mother was the real, by the way, he was 100% Italian, Bozzuto. She's a Kelly, Irish lad. So, yeah.
Okay.
But she was really the cog of the wheel. He was the big bull picking up the crap. But she was writing the statements, the bills. She handled all the real finance, right?
Okay.
So she sat me down. She said, listen, I'm disappointed. She said, that's a terrible thing. When you hear mom say to you, I'm disappointed, that's worse than slapping me.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the big F you. Give me something else. But don't give me the disappointment.
I'd rather get hit than that, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Simple, we know we did wrong. But she had said to me, if you're going to be in this business, you chose a really laborsome thing. And the only way for your success will be because of your community support. It's a trash thing. It's only your locality that'll get you support. And so your neighbors are going to have to, use you instead of using someone else. So my suggestion is, if you're lucky enough to be successful after all that hard work and you can give back to society, it's always nice to write a check to the Cancer Society, but you don't see where the money works. She said, my suggestion is you put it back in your community. So after all those years of rubbish and 62 years to date, we were successful. I bought the old mill, and 1760, the souls of Northward lived through that mill. All the way through to today. So I figured I'd resurrect that and go another 100 years. And I figured that might buy me some points to get into heaven at some point, because right now if I went to church, I'd probably burn down.
Like I said, you start crawling up in the wall.
I'm just saying, Italian guy, garbage business, Connecticut forever. I mean, we were notorious for all those earlier years of the 80s when the mafia ran everything. So
right.
There's a whole bunch of history in that crap.
Conspiracies and theories right there. But also, too, so you guys were successful already when your dad was running the business, right? Or did you guys?
No, he had one little truck. There was 7 children. We used to we would literally raise hogs and pigs. Pigs and cattle. We'd raise a cow a year and hog, because it wasn't cool, right?
Right.
He wasn't making a big paycheck in any manner. But he was lucky enough that some folks helped him out, and he had been blessed by a Jewish fella in New Haven that said, you shouldn't work as hard as you work with 7 children. And he literally left my father 15 apartment units. And he said, you give me $10,000 and you pay me this much a month for 20 years. And my dad turned the rubbish over. It was one truck. We had only 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Wow.
For work. But in the deal was, you boys, 4 boys, 3 girls, my brother Johnny was with me at that time, and the deal was that we can have that company, but in life we had to pay all the bills of the house for mom. We had to send my sisters to college. They had to have a car and college educated for each sister.
Okay.
And build that company, but you got to carry all this in. So he was a genius, right? He made a football team of kids. He started a company that he wasn't fancy with. He got his own little apartment set up, and we took care of the rest. God bless him. You know what I mean? I'm just grateful to have the opportunity. And he died a few years back at 83, and he lived a great life. But on that notion, that's what came along with having that family business. So over time, here we are today, and really successful. I mean, when I started, it was $80,000 a year, $81,000. I was making $131.64 a week.
Okay.
And we only had that business for 3 days a week. So we literally knocked on doors and said, can we pick up your garbage? You know, I'll wax your car on Tuesday because I got nothing else to do, or, you know, whatever it took.
So what age was this? Were you still in high school or no?
No, I was out. I had quit high school in 10th grade. So I think I was like 17, maybe 17 years old.
17 years old.
But it was a different time for 17. We were already, when we graduated high school, we got apartments. We couldn't wait to get out. It was a different time.
Nuts, yeah.
And it was just, that was just the nature of it. Either you went off to, you go to the Army or service, you go into services, or you go to get an apartment and start your life.
You didn't have any thoughts of going into college, or you just weren't a school kid?
No, my mom had thoughts, but I was one of the kids they said was wild. Today, I think they call it ADHD and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But back then, we was those wild guys. And I knew I just wanted to be outside doing garbage anyways.
Right.
I think, fuck it, man, I can go make more money. And sure enough, by my junior prom, which was only a year and a half after I'd left, yeah, I was making more per week, and you know, than they were. And it was not really because of the garbage. There was a year and a half that there's a whole lot of shit that went on before I actually started the garbage.
Okay.
Yeah, I got tossed out of the house. Mom was so disappointed. She threw me out and said, you're going to be a big guy, right? You made that decision. You're a smart ass, huh? She packed my stuff and thought I'd be back in an hour. Oh, no, fuck that.
You left?
I left. I was gone for almost 2 years.
Did you stay in the community, or where did you go to the state?
I did. I was lucky enough. A friend of mine, mom got divorced, so I stayed at his house after about a week. But then I ended up running. I was driving used cars for a friend of ours, used cars out of Florida.
Oh, wow.
So they'd fly us to Florida. We'd drive cars back from auctions all over the Southeast.
So you started flipping them then? Right.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in the car business. I was just a driver.
Okay.
Back then, cars were full of other things, too.
Yeah. Luxury. So
it was 1980.
Okay, so you had that entrepreneurship already before you even knew what it was, right?
Kind of. You know what? It was a survival thing.
Mm-hmm. Were your other brothers just like you too, just that creative? Because I wouldn't call it wild. Maybe you've done wild things, but that's creativeness, man.
You know what? That's probably the energy that it takes to be successful. And I'm not, thank God I got my brothers. They are certainly capable and qualified and do a great job. But they're always, I would just kind of point me on a lot of that stuff. But honestly, I'm one of the guys that likes to build it and move on. I'm not in for the detail.
Right.
I'm the bulldozer and the architecting up and running, and then somebody can operate.
Okay.
And that was such the blessing because my brothers are really good at that part. So I was always moving on to the next thing, the marijuana company, all them other ventures that we've done, even this restaurant thing. Mm-hmm. Not trying to be in the restaurant business itself, just landlord and passive income and building a portfolio.
It's a good investment, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's what I've been blessed with. I've been able to move on after quitting high school and learn how to count, right? 2 plus 2 is 4.
Right.
And that was with cars and early on. But I came home about a year and a half after I came back home and said, I'm going to run the garbage company, and took a commitment. And I made my dad write a loan, and we went to the bank and he co-signed it, and I bought trucks, and it just started from there.
So you helped your dad. So I'm assuming you started your own business before the garbage company, right? Or did you try something else?
No, I was helping those other fellas move cars.
Just that one. Okay.
So I learned there how to do business in a different manner, right? Each car was worth XYZ dollars, and they'd buy 2 for $8,000. We'd sell them for 12 when we got back. You know, it was kind of a hustle, right? Back in our day, it was always a hustle. Anything you can find. There was times there weren't jobs available. I mean, we went through the 70s where you had gas on odd and even days. You couldn't buy gas on a Tuesday if your license plate ended odd.
That's good.
There's a lot of things that were different then. So just created your tenacity to succeed. And I think that's a key part of being an entrepreneur. You know, my whole life, it was a dream that became a goal, that became reality.
The most phenomenal thing that actually sparks my head was most entrepreneurs that I do interviews, they always drop out of college. And the biggest thing is, like, it's not the grades you make, it's the hands you shake, right? Experience. Might as well, you're a go-getter. You're a go-getter, and you saw that potential in you. My question is then, what is one of the biggest valuable skills people from my age or anyone should actually start mastering right now to starting their successful company or their successful journey?
For me, it's a few steps. It's a dream. It's a goal. It becomes reality. The steps that kind of take you there. Passion, tenacity, not giving up. I mean, listen, we've all been broke before we got there. I can tell you, 10 of us in a room, 6 of us have been right against disaster once or twice and still come back. So you're not learning unless you make a mistake. You're not gambling unless you're trying. You're not making mistakes unless you try. There's guaranteed to be mistakes. Don't be afraid of the mistakes. Just push them over, stand up, and move them forward. Don't forget, yesterday was yesterday. You're not going to change what happened. Learn from it and run today. Tomorrow's tomorrow. You can't worry about it till it gets here.
That is true.
So instead of spending half your day on yesterday and the other half on tomorrow, just get through today and live today. Make today a better day. $10 a day is at 7 days a week is $70 in the hole.
So when you were at the younger age already, you building up your resume, what did you do with the people already saying, oh, you didn't go to college, you're this kid, you're the wild kid, you're the troublemaker? Like, how did you adapt to those comments?
Well, I quit school, so I didn't have any of those arguments, right?
Okay.
I didn't have to go on job interviews. I was self-created. I just figured the more hours I worked, the failure couldn't happen because every hour I worked was another hour or 10 cents in the hole. I knew I wasn't going to make $100 an hour. I knew I wasn't going to be the guy that hit $1 million out. I just settled at the $15 an hour, and I'm going to work 80 hours a week. And it became running the business, where I was able to double and make 1,000 that week because it was a business. And I figured out very quickly, if I just add these and double up those, I'm going to be in the money. And that's what started. But as I built that company, I used to mow lawns in the evening. I would plow snow all winter. I would collect nickels on the side of the road. So it was mania, bro. I got mania. Most of these guys like me that
want it. Yeah.
It starts with mania. It's really the thing. If I can look back to elementary school, are you kidding me? Yeah, I was. I was like a ping pong ball bouncing off the walls. I had no time to be in that room. Now they give you Ritalin or whatever. They give you all this shit.
Medication.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you're all dopey.
Yeah.
Really,
you're a zombie.
They should see it differently. Like maybe it's innovation and turn that shit loose. It's honestly, like Elon Musk, those guys, and I don't even never forget. I'm not even, and not in any comparison. I'm just using him as the example of a guy I wish I could think like. It takes the craziest fucking thinkers to get us out there. We're not going to get innovation unless someone's thinking way past the norm. And I don't know what's the norm. I don't believe any of the norm. The norm is what I believe, and I feel I do my diligence to know. And then this is the way I think I should go, and I go. I make a lot of mistakes. I didn't go to college. I pay for college every deal I do. I go in knowing I'm losing 20% because I don't know how to do this industry. Marijuana, we had to lift up from seed to sale. That company, and we had to know everything about banking and FinCEN. The reason I know what I know today is because I've lived it. I couldn't have gone to university and got this education. It would have taken 15 consecutive years and 3 degrees. And then that's all out of a buck. So I learned real easy. I lost 40 grand yesterday. We ain't fucking doing that no more. No, that we don't do.
Well, they always say you're crazy until you're successful, and then you're a genius, right? So they criticize.
All of a sudden now, and I had that high school reunion at my. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I had the high school reunion, and it was pretty obvious. Right?
They look at you just like,
you know, you were a crazy kid. My mother didn't want you hanging around with you. You're fucking nuts. I know. I said, I sorry, Mrs. Smith.
You were the black sheep of the family. Would you say that?
I was the center of the. Listen, I was the middle child. It was all those things in 7.
Right.
But it was. Listen, in hindsight, it built my inner strength. I'm not afraid of any of that, and I was blessed that I could take the energy that was so sporadic and funnel it into just fucking work. My father said, you got a strong back and 2 good hands. Take your chances early. Don't wait till you're 60. Gamble now. I bought 100 acres of land, 2% interest. I didn't have the money. It was $6,800 and change a month. I'd shit my pants every other month. What the fuck am I going to pay this guy?
Yeah.
Pull it out of your ass, man. They had my first 100 acres. Guy just offered me like 3.7 million for that fucking thing.
For the farm, right? I'm assuming. Okay.
I paid like 800.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I know you were on. It was 15 years ago. There's been a lot of taxes along the way,
yeah.
but the taxes are cheap. It's open space. It's like $7,000 a year. Still enough, but those are bank books, right?
Something that actually too like surprises me of it makes sense what you have and what you've built. Why? Because when we have these conversations, you're always up to date with the technology and how it can work or benefit you or the society in the future, just like AI or cryptocurrency. I don't know, like you're always thinking too, like what keeps you up to these AKA trends and these future technologies, you know?
I'm just going to say, I think that's what makes entrepreneurism unique. Successful, and I am not blowing smoke up my ass. You know, I'm very humble and not even comfortable, but honest to God, I don't care what industry. I'm not afraid to get into, I don't know, fuck whatever. You pick the industry, you know what I mean? Aeronautics, biology, those are probably not my swing. Service-based stuff or something. I'm not afraid to go into concrete or I guess it's service-based stuff.
You just know how to multiply the money, the income, and spread it out.
Business, I'm going to be honest, most businesses, the simple, 30 steps of business, and it starts with income and revenue and accounts payable, accounts receivable, if you have them, and the standards are there. It's just the niches that you need to know to be successful in those businesses. And I don't know them. I'll learn by losing my face along the way for the first years. Yeah. But I'm such a, that whole goddamn mania crap. Like I read more on restaurants in the past fucking 5 years. I know him pretty good. Not like him. Your dad's been in his whole life. Yeah. But that's just another envelope in the box, right?
You know how to capitalize on it. Yeah.
And that leads to me wanting to know what is around the next corner and how do you become successful? I don't want to pick up the garbage anymore. I want to take my money and make it earn for me. That's why every time we made 10 cents, I tried to buy another asset that was a bank book so I could leverage, God forbid I got in trouble on the garbage, I could leverage the bank on those to support. See, it's an asset, right? Just like everything else. This is all simple stuff. I don't mean simple for you because I know this is your interest.
Well, this is why I'm having the conversation because I'm learning, No. This is the best part, curiosity.
Yeah.
People judge.
I'm glad I could tell you because I didn't. No, there's no book.
No, yeah.
Me, anyway, there was no book.
Well, people like you and my dad and other people too as well, probably your brothers as well. You guys are a dying breed because you guys are actually you were before social media.
And you know what? It's our whole life. Yeah. And anybody that does anything over their whole life gets pretty good at it if you do it every damn day. And we are the slaves. These guys, I've seen you all out there, and I agree. I know. I only wish I had the opportunity to not work 80 hours a week and only work 20, and sometimes do a podcast like my good friend here and get paid $10,000 a month. I got to tell you, when I needed a phone, I had to go down the street and put a dime in a box and stand in the thing while it was raining, and we didn't even have them. So
that's nuts.
I'm just saying, we're coming from no phones, right? Dial, put a quarter in, and so I got to tell you something. If I ever had the technology like this, I would have stayed in school and I would have aced everything by 10th grade. I would have had a college education by 11th because I wouldn't have waited for them.
So you would have,
I would have taken that iPad and I would have owned it and been within 6 effing months because of my goddamn mania. I'd run circles and I'd be their teacher. Just because this is unbelievable. Yeah. Dude, I had to go to the library and do the book rental. And then you read it, and then you do it, and then you got to bring it back in 2 weeks and pay the extra. And dude, I'm telling you, we didn't have money. I mean, $10 was big. Yeah.
Now you have a calculator, book, everything you have in this phone right now, this gadget.
Oh my Lord, above the stuff you guys have today. And I am proud because good for everybody. This is great stuff. If you can take and use this platform to earn a living without fucking doing the shit I did, man, all the power to you. It interests me. Like you had started going into crypto a minute ago. These are the things that interest me. I want to live in your life now, right? For a minute. I mean that. I mean, I wish I was your age for just a few years to put what I know today into that body, or what any of us our age, your dad included. And it's not about me. I'm just saying.
No, yeah.
Dear Jesus.
But I tell my father all the time, I feel like the age is just a number, right? Yeah, you'll feel it, obviously. I'm just saying that now. But I feel like if you wanted to start something new, which you have, look at what you've created, right? Just point that out.
I couldn't start it at your age. I'll tell you what, I couldn't do that in 5 years of your age.
Okay.
And that's an amazing thing. Over there, my decisions were made in as a matter of factly because of my history in being in business. Chef can know that he says to me, sorry, Chef is the dad. And, I'll come to him and he'll let me talk. And I'll be like, listen, here's how I see this thing. I think that, and he goes, God damn it, Andy.
Yeah.
I've been doing this 30 years. Right?
That sounds like it.
He's like, you know what? You're exactly right. And I was throwing it at him to reassure myself that I think this is the way I should do it.
Right.
And he'll reinforce it a lot of the times. And that's not special to me. It's guys that have been in different areas, situations and businesses, because they all fall standardly, whether it's restaurant, I got the same type people in garbage. I've had the same personalities in the marijuanas and the other companies we've had. We got a framing company. These are just, hardworking guys with hammer and nails, and the similarities are kind of similar.
So let me ask you about this, about the marijuana thing. How did you approach that, and how did you even pitch the idea to your partners?
It was a group decision at a restaurant one night. And again, you don't get them licenses unless you have politics. Some people had politics. I had the background of organics. The other friend had the FDA standards. Our state of Connecticut got the word from D.C. With Obama and Hillary and all that group.
Was this in 2010 or when was this?
Oh my God, yeah, I think it was 29. We started, all of the legislation started being drafted. That's because we get the call that, hey, listen, Connecticut, think about that place. We are the fucking left of leftists. It don't get no lefter than here. We've been Democratic for 190 years. It's not 190 years, but it's a long effing time.
Right.
And nobody fucks with it. Donald, no. And he don't throw stones at Blumenthal. Nobody throws stones at those fellas.
Yeah.
And because I don't want TikTok to ban you if I say the Jewish word or some of that. I don't know, and they might not allow it on. But that being said, they kind of said, put some hands around this fucking marijuana thing, because every state is going around and they're really haphazardly approaching this thing. This was like a federal thing.
No, yeah.
And it was like, let's get some arms around it. Put in Connecticut. That's the Constitution state. They got more fucking lawyers per mile than stoplights.
Wow.
So that's who we are. I don't know. I didn't know that. I've only lived here. But I guess, I guess we're the snooty dudes in the BMWs with all the, the money. I don't know. I by the way, ask the podcast what they think of different states. You should go out. Sorry, I ain't telling you what to do.
No.
I look at your shit and I got ideas for you.
Yeah. And this is why I love having conversations.
So here's ideas, the 5 states. Tell me what you think of the people in. Pick a state. Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Brad and Huffy and
yeah.
It's really not, guys. They got shit kicking farm bred guys everywhere and garbage men. So, but again, that's just a good question to ask different people from different areas what they think, what first thing that comes to mind,
Right. I like that. Your mind's always thinking. It's like yesterday when you were telling my dad with the meat, you were like, why don't we package and make it our own, season something up and then use the leftovers and that.
So we can brand that beef ours, and then that's...
There you go.
Because I see now, I didn't know that's what you guys are trying to do is brand. So I see my kid.
Okay.
You want a short story?
Yeah.
All right, and this is very relevant for your folks. We do hard money. If you know what hard money is, we'll do short loans. If someone can't get money from a bank, they want to buy a house, we'll buy the house for them. They pay us some, and then they got to get it done, though. They got to get a bank done within a year max. So, and we do it all legally. It's a legal thing. We're not like the monsters.
You guys are sharks, yeah.
We can't charge 80%. There's none of that.
Take their kneecaps
It's
out.
a legit thing, It's a legit finance company, actually.
Right.
So we get a call, a friend of a friend, and we go to the house. And I knew the name from prior stuff. I wasn't that fancied on writing this note, but we only do these things if we're first position. In other words, there's no bank involved. We own it outright. If they F it up, we own it. We don't want houses. We just want our money back with our interest like a bank does. And we don't even want to do them more longer than a year.
Okay.
Excuse me. I know that this guy has fancy kids on YouTube or,
on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they think he's like this half-ass rapper.
Oh.
He's really fancy. And he's around. He's got pictures with the guys, this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So he shows up on this thing, and you'd think this kid's got millions. Well, if they had fucking millions, would they need me to, fucking loan so they can get to the bank?
Yeah.
Probably not. But I go to the house, and it's all decked out like an MTV house. I'll tell you about this later so you can look at the guy, because I don't want to blow anybody up, and I don't even want anybody to know what we do. But
Yeah.
that being said, he's got the little wall. Like, he tells nobody lives there. That's just their fun house that they have, because they got so many houses.
Yeah.
Literally, they live there, and literally that's their house. But on the wall, they got the sneakers. This one was $5,000. This one was $3,000. I'm saying to myself, the fucking guys, you're not ready to know. So I got aggravated. I left. I walked out, left my partners there. They'll figure it out. They voted yes, we go, and that's okay.
Okay.
But I know the folks. But on that note, a lot of that shit's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So now I got my kids that run around, and I'm starting to learn about branding and how this works.
Marketing.
So I'm like, guys, what the fuck? Why are you doing posting? And why don't you post up half of your shit?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what that 400 Angus farm over here, you fucking dummies.
Yeah.
They got, they're for real.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like fake.
Yeah.
They got all. And I'm glad they're not that deep into it, because now they have kids and they're 28 years old, so it doesn't matter. But I look out there and I see what goes on, and it's really no legs, no real substance. Almost like when we talked about crypto and NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really never want to buy the monkey, because it's really just tied to nothing but art. I know, I get it. Everybody thinks it's cool, but fuck me.
Right.
I need something that's tied to
The value.
Listen, our friends, they, in our world, the guys that buy the Ferrari, they trade barrels of bourbon. New barrel of bourbon takes 15 years to mature. 12. You don't come out 10 year and 12 year first barrel's out.
Okay.
When it starts, it's clear liquid. In 12 years, it's brown, and it's bourbon, right?
Yeah.
It's got a cure. So you buy the barrel, an example, $10.
Okay.
It's way fucking more, but $10 for the barrel when it's white.
Okay.
As time goes on to maturity, it becomes $100.
Okay.
So you buy it, right? And you trade barrels. These fucking guys, with money, they got nothing else to do. They'll buy 50 barrels of this year's bourbon out of Woodford, and they'll sometimes trade them in 7 years. They're halfway there. I'll sell them to you for 30% less. You'll pick up the other side of the value by holding them to bank books, right?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. So I said, why don't we put an NFT to it? I said, what? I said, we'll sell you got 53 gallons in a barrel. We'll sell ounces on NFT. Now people buy the NFT, they actually own the ounce of the bourbon. As it matures, if you hold it to maturity, it comes off per gallon. You could take it in ounces, gallon, or sale, because there's always the ability to sell your barrels. Once they hit maturity, they'll buy them back. So
what currency would you use, though, if you sold that? Yeah, it's going to be an NFT, but what would you?
So at some point, everybody's on this Bitcoin. I don't believe in any of those. I think that the USDC, what is it called? Our new crypto platform will choose the next one. See, regulation has come. Then now we're not decentralized. We could stay on the decentralized. We got to uphold. We got some platforms that you can.
Yeah. Illegally, well, allegedly,
but
I know what
I got to be honest, I won't go deep on those, because I've seen people get robbed. So,
scams, all that.
And
stuff,
I've been a trader, right? I've been in stocks because I'm an old guy. And as time goes on, I do think that type currency and blockchain technologies will definitely be there. Listen, we're on the verge of it now. Paper currency, fiat currency might be out of here in a minute. We're not even sure what's coming next. And you see with the
wars,
you see bricks. War is nothing. We live on war. That's why we got here. That's why we are so evil. But That BRICS is very real. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. That's a real deal, man. And India's on. Australia's trading with them. They actually just dumped a whole bunch of our bonds. There's some shit coming out in the next 30 days. You're going to see it. Life is going to change, I think, in the near future.
No one's using the dollar bill no more, man. No one's believing in it no more.
You know, it was overproduced. They didn't back it by gold, and I don't know where we head from here. These are the new territories of today, man. Yeah. And
but you're thinking about it too. So let me ask you this: do you believe cryptocurrency is the future? Then the new form of currency?
I think that there is definitely not fiat currency in the future, because I think it is going to be some type of that currency, a digital currency. I'm going to say,
okay,
because we have digital, bro. MasterCard, all that shit. Zip, and I'm gone. Yeah, it takes 30 fucking days to get the bill. So an XRP platform can do that transaction in about 8 seconds, whatever, eighth of a second.
XRP,
and by the way, we have Venmo. You know, Venmo, you got it, I got it. Dink.
Right.
So honest to God, this technology is already in use. It's just how we craft it for the blockchain. Ripple will be turned loose in the next month at maximum. See, that's a perfect example. Ripple was sued to educate the government and put them in a position to have the currency. We hated Bitcoin for 20 years. You know that?
Yeah. Well,
now the U.S. likes Bitcoin. Matter of fact, we own the Bitcoin. China got rid of it because they were going to do their own thing, because they knew we were coming for Bitcoin, because J.P. Morgan, all the big boys, they are the big owners of fucking Bitcoin at this point. They're going to buy it off the market. They'll take the loss and sink that motherfucker, and they'll open a new one. Now, can they do that to Bitcoin? I don't believe so, because it's really been around long enough worldwide to survive. But if they own the majority share, they can certainly manipulate, and that's the fucking centralization we all try to avoid, right, motherfucker? Right or wrong, I don't know how you get around it. So I just figuring now I'm going on fucking Coinbase. You know why? Because Coinbase is our platform, and we pay the fucking tax. But
the government,
listen, it's like the U.S., man. Over here, you get deeded rights to land, and the government's not coming to take it, or the mafia ain't coming to take your fucking land. It's yours. So, unfortunately, as much as this is a beast of a country, the way they do politics and fucking criminals up top, it's still the best place in the world if you're going to live. I never lived anywhere else, so who am I to say? But I've had the opportunity to come from shit to nothing to be able to sit here and do one of these.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't know if you could do that everywhere. People come here from other countries and say there's no way, you know. So I've seen that success, actually, right?
Let me ask you this then. So someone from like my age, because I'm 24 years old, right? So since I'm 24 years old, and let's just say I have $10,000 to $20,000 to invest, I graduated from college, everything. What should I go in first? What should I learn in, or how should I invest it? How do I multiply my money?
If I was you?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be cognizant of technology, because it's changing so fast. Listen, again, I didn't have phones when I was your age. Right? I was going to a pay phone. We didn't have fucking smart TV. We didn't have email.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying.
It's nuts. Yeah.
I remember .com. I was about 30. I got married at 28 years old. A guy on my honeymoon. They loved my wife and I. We were a young couple. Just got married. They were old. They came down on their IBM tour from Canada. They had 170 people at IBM Canada. The guy was a senior president, senior whatever. He was the old guy of the IBM. Everybody was partying. He was with his wife next to us, right?
Yeah. Sick.
Dude, actually, we were so fucking broke. That guy gave us money to get home. We wrote him letters. My wife will tell us stories. The greatest people on earth. But he said to me, "Kid, let me tell you something. How'd you do it? You got money on the wedding?" I said, "Well, I got a little home." I said, "I got a condo." You know, I was all excited. You know, I had to do it on my own. It wasn't like it just rained. We had to build everything we had. He goes, "I want you to go home. And I want you to buy stock. I want you to buy IBM stock. We are going to have a computer in every fucking house in America."
Wow.
These are when computers were as big as Volkswagen. We didn't know computers. IBM guy, right? Telling me on my honeymoon. Young, dumb, full of cum. What did I, did I do it? Nope.
No. Okay.
So there are opportunities that don't come around a second time. Be cognizant. You know, study, learn what's coming, know what's coming so you can see the opportunity. Take the risk when you're young. Especially if you could build a little money that comes monthly, or monthly revenue that comes up or something like this. and you go on during the day and really make a shot at something. I could have had a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Those run, those pay.
Yeah.
I passed. But then again, we didn't have the money and the opportunity too, so we're really limited then.
So at 28, you were broke. When did you start seeing your first success? You know?
You know what? I was already working the garbage for 6, 7, 8 years and had already doubled it. I had 5 days of work a week, so I felt my success was coming from that. And my madness was just running as fast as I can and then buying the land and trying to just make offsets in case that went south on me. I had this backup. So that's kind of how it started. So I felt my success as I built it, but we built it by doing it. Literally, just get up every day, knock on doors, and ask people, "Can I pick up your shit?"
Yeah.
And that was okay. You know, that was fine.
A lot of people my age, they confuse it too as well. Why? Because they see a net worth of $5 million, and I'm just like, that doesn't mean they have $5 million in the bank, right? That means I spread it out with all this, and they can be broke being a millionaire, right? You buy properties, you buy mortgages, you buy this, you got a house, you got you got a lot of stuff, and people are just like, "Well, he's a millionaire." No, doesn't really work like that too.
Oh my God, it's such a great story because people only count what they see. They got no idea I'm broke.
Yeah,
I don't have $5 million in cash. I got paper everywhere. You know what it takes to pay for paper? Taxes, property tax, all these other things. There's a giant. It's like, listen, I could be a guy that's got $5 million in the bank that earns 3% and has a boat. And you got people that drive the boat or a plane and people that fly the plane and they choose to do it that way.
Nothing wrong, but
no. Listen, kudos to them. I wasn't born that way. I was born, if I didn't work, it wouldn't get done. Now I'm afraid to stop working. What happens is you drive yourself like, and I get it, guys, we're slaves. We didn't have a choice. So it's like being in the field like a flock of sheep. And we did the best we could in the field and became rose to the top of the field. That's all we had. It's like being in jail.
Right.
You only can do what you can do and accomplish the maximum you can while you're there. And it's capitalization. It's just like capitalizing.
That's very true. So at 28, you got married. Do you really think, and this is a question too as well, wherever Kathy is or your wife, that's her name, very, very super nice. Do you think having the woman on your side actually builds a man's success? I always hear that too, right? Especially for my age. Having a solid woman on your side builds foundation and success. Do you believe in that? Do you really truly feel?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's 100%. That's 100% because family is the core. And that's what the deal was. You got the family, let me run, I'll make the money, we'll get back around this thing at a certain point and call it a day. My regret, though, is running so hard, not spending the time that she got to spend with those kids. So now that's my only regret. I am blessed. Listen, I am blessed. And we're in a great place. They're 30 years old and got their own kids, and everything changes over time. But there's been some rough spots because I wasn't there for them at certain things. And that's the sacrifice you fucking make being mental. I probably didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I probably could have cut and split the time. But I don't know if we'd be where we are today. So it doesn't matter. It's hindsight. Again, what did we just say? We don't think about that yesterday because we're wasting the moment right now. Right,
yeah, that's right.
We don't live yesterday.
Yeah.
I can't worry about if I could change it for them tomorrow. But we can do what I can do today, right now for them and us. And it's good. And I'm lucky. I even got that back in place. So, yes, my wife, I wouldn't change any of that in the world. She saved my life. I've been dead a couple times. Literally. Literally.
The questions, all the answers you gave me was phenomenal. I told you 30 to 40 minutes, and I feel we're at that benchmark right there. But let me ask you this, because Mill Pond's right here. You bought Kiki's right now too as well. What else future plans do you have to build this? I call it an empire because I find it really crazy how you did it in 5-6 years. Imagine if the virus wasn't around, how much more you could have accomplished.
Well, we'd have been done, right? Sooner or so. But on the other side, we're going to put that, we get that residential section, so like just under 100 units down bottom with a small motel. Well, right where Dad's staying now.
So you're going to go to a hotel?
Yeah, we got a motel going on the right side, and then all the backyard all the way down to the mountain, because I own all the way to the mountain.
Right.
That's going to be like a residential, be like 92 units.
Okay. People want to stay for a party for the Mill Pond event.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but they're going to live there full time. That's like an area thing, like a 55 and older. Like, I don't need this house 7,000 feet. I go move over there. We get to use the amenities at the motel. You ready? You ready for the whole thing?
Come on.
It's got the spa, it's got the laundry, we get services at our unit. If you're in my unit, you're paying rental only, you don't own it, because we're all gonna die someday. And plus, I wanna go to Florida for 3 months, so I'm only renting it for this, and then I'm out, I'll catch the one on the way back.
Yeah.
Make sure you clean up, plant the flowers, the whole thing. Oh, where are you going? Down the restaurant. See, all this will feed my restaurant. So we vertically integrated everything. The farm, feeds the cattle to the butcher, so the butcher's buying, and then the restaurant buys the meat from the butcher, and then the garbage man picks up the garbage, and then the residential guy in the hotel has the people that'll support. See, when we have weddings, they can stay at the hotel, and then the residents that live in the bottom will always support the restaurant.
That's crazy. And I can't wait to see everything come together too.
It's only a 30-year plan.
Yeah.
It's been 30 years. My daughter says it to me. My daughter says, you know, we would drive by the restaurant. We've been living here since 1993.
1993, wow.
And my daughter was baby, and I would drive down Middletown Ave, and that was just a little shed. And I'd say, someday, guys, to all the kids, I'm going to own that restaurant. And here we are today. So again,
manifestation.
The dream, the goal, the reality.
That's what I tell my dad every time in Highland Park. Michael Jordan's house is there, and I told my mom, my dad, since I was like 16, 17, I'm going to own the house. It's $14 million right now, but yeah, it's crazy to say now at 24, but I always told him at 16, 17, I'm going to own the house. Why? I'm going to own the house, watch. I'm going to start that. I've been saying it for 15 years. I'm not even joking. They'll call you delusional and stuff, but it's okay.
I did it. You ask my kids, ask my wife, she's right there. You ask her if that is not the exact story that happened at Mill Pond.
Yeah.
So it can happen. And it's all about this tenacious, every day, push it. And this will become successful. And then you could start running all our branded shit, and we can do commercials and sell our fancy crap on his website. Go wild and move that home shopping network lady. What the hell's her name? That little short blonde girl. She's on the Shark all the time. Move her out. We'll take over her next. See how easy that was, bro? We're going to be the biggest in no time.
It is. And it's pretty much just the connections and the handshakes, building those bridges and not burning them.
It really is a lot of who you know. It really is more who you know that gives you the opportunity to get there. But I'm going to tell you something. Don't be afraid to ask anybody successful for a hand. Successful guys are always looking to talk and teach. Look at, I could talk the ears off a cornstalk. They'll fall before you can pick them. And it's just because there's so much to blast out. And any guy that is in that position, I think anybody would help anybody. As long as they know you're true to security, you really want it, and you're going to really work at it, people will lift you. I don't really know how to do that shit, but if I did, it's an easy breezy to put you somewhere like on a channel. Boom.
Yeah. It's authenticity, what I always say. It's, you know, I don't do this for the money. This is why I'm a year and a half in and have the resume I have now, because I actually believe in this and I like doing this, right? I'm learning from you and I'm learning and talking to people, right? You're picking their brain.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. I feel like people quit. They chase the money first and they don't get the results really as soon as they want, and they stop.
Listen, it takes time. I can't tell you there's nothing that came fast or easy. The lotto tickets, I don't play. I tried.
Biggest game in the world.
I tried betting football. I had to take a loan. I had to go to the bank, get $2,500. I paid that. Took me fucking a year to pay that thing. I'm like, I'm never fucking betting again. I suck at that.
Yeah.
I know I could go over there and plant the lawn and get paid. I know I can go mow or plow or shovel and get paid. So in my head, I'm like, all right, I can't fucking do that other thing because that doesn't work. I try if I'm just dumb at that.
Yeah.
But I certainly know if someone says, I'll pay you $500 to do this, I'll be right there. I'll be done half the time. They're like, hey, finish it. Yeah, we're done. That's like the mania.
A lot of people don't, at least at my age, they don't freelance. They don't do stuff for free at first.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And that's what makes them, like I said, that's what makes them give up or give up on their dream. And
well, it takes a while. It takes time.
It's a 5, 10, 20
slow
years.
Down.
Yeah.
Just methodically, the turtle beat the hare. What's the hare and the turtle? That's our old story. Shep would understand that. the turtle always wins. Slow and steady wins the race.
That's true. That's fact.
I mean, you got to have energy and time. It doesn't mean you're moving at Mach speed. It just means you're moving as best you can to succeed, right?
Yeah.
That's the micro. The macro is just continue every day.
Consistency.
Every day. It's the 5 cents that added up for me. Now, don't get me wrong. If you can hit it out with one of these podcasts, holy shit, more power to you. That's what interests me about today's technology. And again, if I had a little money, I would put some into that silly crypto, but watch out for that unless it gets really organized. Robotics. Fucking robotics is big. Healthcare is going to change, but that's a slow grower. But robotics, I think, of course, the AI, which is just going out of its sock, but quantum is next to the quantum. Quantum, the quantum physics and cold fusion. There's a lot of great technology that it was so far out there. And here I am today, like on the cusp of seeing it. That's incredible. I mean, yeah, the cell phone and all that was what we thought was incredible when the IT, you know, in the turn of the century, that was big. .com, we didn't even know. Fuck, that's child's play compared to what they got coming. Honest to God, we're going to be in a different place in 5 years.
Well, you heard about the chip they already did to someone?
Yeah, Neuralink, you know, Elon. And by the way, Elon's Neuralink, and I love that guy.
Yeah.
That's like number 3 on the list of best of quality type brain chips. There's 2 guys that are ahead of him. I didn't even know that. Now I dive in because I'm looking to invest.
Right.
I love you, Elon, but there's 2 other companies that are like far more even advanced than him with that particular thing. Let's not forget, you know, he's flying to the moon. He's going to fucking Mars.
He's doing a lot.
He's got cars.
Yeah.
And his Neuralink is very real. But this whole there's some real technology on that's coming. And those are the investments, bro.
Yeah.
Find that company. Those are the ones. Put a little $10 on that fucking thing and just forget it. It'll go like this for a long time, but over time, that's where all the AI, all the robotics, all that meta.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to carve things. I'm going to sit around and I'm going to hold these properties until that irons out. Because as we get into crypto, and I do believe it'll be some type of digital currency or some form of value that I would be able to take, for example, today to get a public company. I could take my garbage company and go public. I got to go through FDIC. I got a whole about 50 standards, right?
Yeah.
Once they get really their hands around it, I had mentioned to you today, NFT.
Yeah.
You know, tokens.
Yeah.
Tokens. I'll be able to take my entities, property, and I'll carve that into 1 million pieces. And I'll give you an equity ownership of 0.0010 of 100 acres when I develop. I got it today for $5 million value. From here forth, I own the first half. That's all mine. From here forth, we start crafting out NFTs, and you buy your piece. And as we develop, you get yours back. You get a return on investment along the way.
That's smart.
And a resale on the back.
Right.
Now I don't need to go public. Fuck you, FDIC. Once the digital currency and the technology agrees, then I'm going on the meta. And I'm going to buy a fucking corner on Wall Street, and I'm going to trade and have my own. But then I'll be dead. See, I'm already 61. I won't have enough time to do all that. But that's the madness. You see, that's what happens. I can't just I get so fucking stupid. I go all the way to you see how I just crafted a whole fucking.
Yeah. But you're building a legacy, and you will leave that too. You'll leave a legacy. It'll outlive you. I can see that.
It's good. I hope that's what I can leave them. And that's what my goal is now, is to craft this next generation of what's coming. That's the gift I was gifted, to have foresight. And even in shit I don't understand, I couldn't spell quantum. I'm a 10th grade.
That's impressive.
But I can read now and not understand, but
you're doing more what an educated person back in the day that went to college was
and
doing,
it's just because you're trying to have the consciousness of knowing. What am I going to do for the next 10 minutes? I get on this and I go cold fusion. And I do 10 minutes of cold fusion.
I like that.
You know what I mean? This fucking thing is incredible. But I got to tell you, right here, man.
It's addicting too.
Holy shit. This is a library on steroids. And it's instant. Yeah. And when I'm hungry, I go to that fucking Uber thing there and bring me a cheeseburger.
That's what I did this morning with Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't even finish. The doorbell rings. Ding dong. What's that? Oh, my fucking cheeseburger's here. Are you kidding me? Yeah. We had to kill a pig and then cut it up and then wait 2 days and then cook it. You know, you get a cheeseburger in 7 minutes now. Right, Chef? It's like a cheeseburger. We would get one on Wednesday, right? We got to plan now and kill it, and then Wednesday have a burger.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible.
Well, it's like what you said right now. Back then, to do a podcast, you had to go to New York and, do a studio. Now it's
you just
right
set
here.
up you're right here.
Right there.
And the quality is
Top
as
notch.
good as a studio. I'd say amazing. I did not even know that this is being done today.
and just in your own. Well, we're the first ones that go mobile, but we do the mobile thing. That's why I've done it. But yeah, this is technology is changing. And Andy, thank you for the time and everything. And honestly, thank you for letting me actually like having a conversation for you.
It's all good, man. I got nothing else to do but talk about stupid shit.
Nah, it's not stupid. It's the future. It's the future. But
I appreciate you.
so go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, In Your 20s Show, and as well on Facebook Reels and Instagram. But thank you all that, and go check it out, boys.